So this is the Skullcandy Terrain, and this is the Skullcandy Terrain Mini. Now Skullcandy did a really good job of packing both of these speakers with a lot of features, and they both have a really long battery life, so they can definitely keep up with you if you take them on the go with you. But when it comes to their sound quality, they only sound good enough to get the job done. Nonetheless, if you are thinking about picking up either the Skullcandy Terrain or the Terrain Mini, let's see what these two speakers are all about. We're good on pricing. The Terrain has a retail price of $60 and the Terrain Mini has a retail price of $40. And if you're just looking for something that sounds good enough, but more importantly has a long battery life, then these speakers will deliver. Nonetheless, if you want to pick these speakers up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, linked down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button and let's get subscribed. Now first, when it comes to the design of these speakers, both of these speakers are fairly small and they're both super lightweight. Now the Terrain Mini has the same base as the Terrain XL, but it's shorter. But in general, both of these speakers are good options if you want to take them on the go with you, because they both have a fabric wrap body, making them very durable, and they're both waterproof. But both of these speakers also have a built-in carrying strap, so you can either carry them or you can attach them to things. Now when it comes to battery life, the Terrain has an advertised battery life of 14 hours, but with it playing at max volume, it's going to last you for about 8 hours of playback time. Now the reason why the battery life on this speaker lasts for so long is because this is a 12-watt speaker, so it's not going to get as loud or have as much bass as a more premium speaker. And then there's the Terrain Mini, which is a 5-watt speaker, and it also has an advertised battery life of 14 hours, and at max volume, it's going to last you for about 8 hours of playback time. Just keep in mind that even when it's playing at max volume, the Terrain Mini is best used as a personal speaker because it doesn't get super loud. And in order to charge both of these speakers, they both charge via a USB-C port, as they should. And this is actually the only port that you'll find on both of these speakers, because none of these speakers have an audio jack, so you can't use either of these two speakers with a wired connection. You can only use these two speakers wirelessly. And I do have to say that this is expected for speakers of this price and size, especially in 2023. Now, when it comes to the Bluetooth connectivity of these two speakers, both of these speakers can only be connected to one device at a time, unlike with more premium speakers that can be connected to 2 devices at the same time. But at least you can watch videos with both of these speakers because latency isn't an issue. But with all of that out of the way, let's talk about sound. With the Terrain, we've got dual frontward firing woofers and dual pass radiators that shoot out the sides. Whereas with the Terrain Mini, you've got a single frontward firing woofer, but you still have dual pass radiators that shoot out the sides. But now we're going to jump into the sound test. The Terrain is playing at 75% volume and the Terrain Mini is playing at max volume, just so that it can keep up.
Good again. I've been nothing but a girl who really should be nothing less. Pull me aside and don't you tell us so how you actually feel. If you do, then they'll cut you right at the heel, and it hurts. No one can save you. It's all on your mind to change too. And baby, you can really try if you come your way. Nobody will help if you're flying too close to the sun, 'cause you're gonna get burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. Burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. 'Cause you're gonna get burned. They say you should never roll all the dice without a hand. It's make or break when you never did stand a chance. Tell me side, don't you tell us so how you actually feel. If you do, then they'll cut you right at the heel, and it hurts. No one can save you. It's all on your mind to change too. And baby, you can really try if you nobody will help if you're flying too close to the sun. Cause you're gonna get burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned. Burned. Yeah, you're gonna get burned.
So first, let's address max volume performance. With the Terrain at max volume, it should be good for a small group of people, 2 to 4 people. But since this is a 12-watt speaker, it's not the loudest thing out there. But then there's the Terrain Mini, which is a 5-watt speaker, and at max volume, I say it's really only worth using by yourself. Now, when it comes to the overall sound quality of these speakers, they have a very harsh V-shaped sound signature, as in they put an emphasis on the bass and the highs. So with both of these speakers, you're going to hear the bass and vocals, but you're not going to get the best detail in the mids. But also, I did notice that with both of these speakers, there can be some distortion in the highs. Overall, both of these speakers sound good enough to get the job done, but don't expect the best sound quality out of these speakers or the best max volume performance. But yes, the Terrain does get noticeably louder than the Terrain Mini, because with the Terrain Mini, even when it's playing at max volume, it's best used as a speaker for yourself. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with both of these speakers, they're using Skullcandy's multi-link, and you can actually connect a Terrain or Terrain Mini to another Terrain XL or to a Terrain or to another Terrain Mini, and you can connect up to 99 speakers. Now, if you're going to be mixing and matching speakers, you can get them to all play in sync, or if you get 2 speakers, you can get them to play in left and right stereo mode. And the really interesting thing here is that you can get any 2 Terrain speakers and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. So you can get a Terrain XL and a Terrain, and they'll play in left and right stereo mode, unlike with, let's say, JBL's Party Boost, where you need to have 2 of the exact same speakers. Now, in order to get your speakers to play in sync, all you got to do is press and hold on the play and plus button for 1 second, and then your speakers will search for one another and they'll play in sync. Or if you want to get them to play in left and right stereo mode, all you got to do is just triple press on the power button, and that's going to get your 2 speakers to play in stereo mode. And in general, I am gonna have to say that Skullcandy's multi-link is very good. It's very easy to use. You don't have to use an app. Your speakers get paired up very quickly, and skipping is not an issue. So with all that being said, both the Skullcandy Terrain and Terrain Mini are speakers that you can easily take on the go with you because they're both very durable. They both have a long-lasting battery life. You can sync them up with a Terrain XL, Terrain, or Terrain Mini. But when it comes to sound, these speakers don't sound amazing. They just sound good enough to get the job done, and they can go for long stretches of time. But if you're trying to choose between the Terrain and Terrain Mini, the Terrain is suitable for a small group of friends, and it can fill a bedroom with sound, whereas the Terrain Mini is better suited for individual use. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.